So, originally, I wasn't actually gonna see Trap in theaters, but I've finally seen the movie. And I gotta say, I thought it was pretty good actually. It seems that most of M. Night's movies are divisive when it comes to the majority thoughts. You either seem to like it or not so much. I'm definitely gonna be talking about spoilers for this movie today, because if you didn't see the title, I'm gonna be talking about the infamous twists with these movies usually. So without further ado, like and subscribe, so close to 1K, and let's get right into this. So truthfully, I've only seen Split and The Visit when it comes to his movies, but a fun fact about M. Night, he also helped co-write Stuart Little, so do what you will with that information if that counts. Wink, maybe? I don't know. Trap follows a father and daughter duo attending a concert for the famous in-universe Lady Raven, played by the director's daughter, Shyamala. But we soon figure out this is actually turned into a secret operation because the authorities have found out that this killer, the Butcher, is going to be in attendance for this concert. The question is though, will Josh Hartnett's character Cooper be able to thwart the trap, or is he even the killer at all? Yes, in fact he is the killer. There's no twist within itself, although the build-up to the release of this movie, one of the theories, if not two, is that he's actually not the killer and it's someone else. Or it could have been his daughter, but no, it's Josh Hartnett. There's no twist there. Not seen a ton of M. Night movies, though I was left kind of spiraling and curious as to where the next steps in each part of this movie could go or would take us, and he even had my heart racing during certain moments, like especially towards the part where he leaves the concert venue, and he finally caves in at this moment and lets Lady Raven know that he's actually the Butcher, and I did feel trapped myself in this scene, because it's like, where can you go at this point? And he actually admits that, you know, she caught him, so where do we go next? But the way these characters are played, especially between Lady Raven and Cooper post-reveal, you know, they have this big tug-of-war battle between each other. She's always trying to find ways to expose him to the public, whilst helping a man locked up in his safe house, and you got Cooper on the other hand, who tries to stop her before she exposes him, ultimately leading to his crossing the worlds with his family. I definitely thought this movie was going to end shortly after the concert, but this is actually when we get to certain parts of the movie that I would call the twists, rather than a single twist, because you can perceive many moments or aspects of this movie as twist-worthy. Dare you could even say, there's twisters. I get it, that was a horrible joke, my bad. But for the first twist, I'd argue you could say it was him being the killer all along. Usually when these movies come out, they have a pure day and night twist from what I've seen, so when the trailer dropped and it showed Josh Hartnett as the killer, it firmly plants that seed of being, is he really the killer? What's the punchline or the missing key point here? Because you wouldn't think that we get the main killer's perspective for a whole movie, but that's exactly what's going on here. We follow Cooper all the way to the start of the movie towards the end, and it's a clear note that he is the Butcher. He is the Butcher. And you could definitely take that as a twist within itself. And in that mindset, it already builds up the drive for this movie, leading fans to the build-up of this false sense of reality for this movie, that he can't just simply be the killer, when in fact, he is. Moving forward with the movie, though, I think the next twist is the back and forth he has with Lady Raven. These two characters just keep going back and forth at each other, prodding the cow in their own aspects. So when he tells her he's gonna kill the dude if she doesn't help them leave, you know, you originally think that they'll just hop in her limo and then leave, and that's that, right? But nah, she goes the next step and actually offers to visit their house in order to expose him and help him get caught. So she ends up getting there to their house, and a series of unfortunate events happens, and she keeps talking and kind of distracting, eventually mentioning the Butcher to the family, introducing a hidden crucial moment for the film, by the way, until she eventually snaps a pic of him with his own phone, and then we see his public snapping in front of his wife and children as Lady Raven hides in the bathroom while he's freaking the hell out, tearing shit up, eventually opens that door on her, giving enough time for the basement guy from the beginning to actually be saved in the movie, bringing us to another twister kind of moment number 2 in this movie. Now I'm like, oh hell no, this is how she ends up dying. See, the cops end up swarming the house, and he's got nowhere to go until we see him hop into her limo as a police officer in disguise, keeping her handcuffed and trapped with him. It's like, how is she gonna get out of this one? I mean, he literally has her where he wants her, and she's got nothing but her tracked phone. Wink, wink. So while they're driving, a fleet of fans actually stop and recognize her and can tell something's off about this. She ends up escaping from the bar that she's handcuffed to and gets out of the car. So when the FBI catches up, he's a master disguise and actually changes into some fan garb and blends into the crowd, once again eluding their presence. So it's like, damn, what does he do next then? Does he end up finding her later on, or just disappear to never be seen again?
Come on, let me hear you say it just once. Come on.
You're insane.
No! No, the other thing. Come on, I know it's just dangling off the tip of your tongue. Let me hear it just once, please.
Superman will never.
Wrong!
He ends up going home, actually, and turns up in the kitchen with his wife. So at this point, I'm like, what's going on here? Where could this go next? And that leads up to twist numero tres. We go through this kind of exposition process dump of them talking to each other and how things can't be the same for them. all for it to be revealed. Now, I want to kind of mention real quick that during this point of the movie, we've known him to be on his toes and quick thinker when it comes to shit here, and that just kind of doubles down here. And he's either found out this recently or known for quite some time that she actually thinks he's the butcher. So she actually explains how she thought he was cheating because he'd get home late at night or always acted weird, but she just couldn't pinpoint it as that specifically. Further explaining, she had been smelling cleaning equipment on him, not from his firefighter profession, but like hospital-like cleaner. But it gets further revealed that she actually had followed him all the way to one of his safe houses and started putting it all together eventually, and it clicked when she had actually broken into one of these safe houses and she found nothing there but a table and a chair. So by this point, I'm in belief that, this man's finally gonna kill her, but then she offers him to eat some pie together that she had made for her daughter's special day, which in reality might honestly be the worst day of his daughter's life, just to note. But the wife outsmarts him, adding some powder to his food, making him essentially a walking indica strain that she had got from his bag. So the police end up coming in, taking him off, but he fixes a fallen bike and hugs his daughter for one last time. Giving payout to that earlier reveal when Lady Raven had mentioned that the butcher was at the show and the mother had no reaction at all because she had already assumed it to be her husband. Giving us our last and final twist of the film, right? He's finally gotten arrested and put in the SWAT van until we're given our last twist of the film. When Cooper had took and fixed that bike, he actually detached one of the spokes from the tires so he could use it to pick his handcuffs in the back of the van, giving us one last laugh before the end of this film. With what I like to think is 4 total twists within this movie, it leaves on a build of your own kind of ending of what could happen next. Does he go back to the house and finish his job and kill his wife? Because it was mentioned that he does have an anger for her now, an anger that he hasn't really felt before, so this could be a very real possibility. Or my own little goofy theory is that he ends up moving somewhere else and finally becoming a stepdad for a new family, giving the stepfather vibes. Since it's an M. Night, we had our own little twist on it. Let's say he picks this family, but instead of trying to kill them at first, they turn out to be the killers, and plot shit goes on, and he turns out being the protagonist, having to survive them. It'd be one hell of a movie, and probably stupid at the same time, but it'd be pretty funny if they actually did that. This movie was pretty entertaining though, and it didn't seem too crazy with its twists, but yanks you back and forth with your expectations every now and then. And it does it in even smaller ways, like when he's getting stunned by SWAT guys, you think he's gonna tank those voltages, and he tackles one of them to the ground on some beast type stuff from Split. So yeah, I'd be curious to see where this movie could go in the future, but I don't really think it's necessary in any form. It serves as a nice thriller with a small and medium twist percentage here and there, while providing us with a cast of fun and well-acted people as well. Josh Hartnett is always a pleasure to see, whether it's Trap, H2O, The Faculty even, as well as Ishana Night Shyamalan providing her own music for the soundtrack, just really helps the immersion and weight of this movie, all while sounding like a legit pop star in today's world. Let me know what you thought or felt about this film and its twist in the comments below. Did you feel it was underwhelming, or did you feel like it just did what it had to do and you enjoyed it? So without further ado, let's end the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I'll just do this one last one. Enjoy the rest of the concert.